Hey, Planner Junkies, George and I are here today to go through my digital bullet journal that I've been working on. I need to work on a cover. This is just one of the plain covers. But one of the things about planning, which I am an absolute planner addict, planner junkie, is that I can't stick with the same system. And so the physical planners, while I love paper, I love stickers, although I do tend to hoard stickers and I'm afraid to use them because then I won't have them anymore, which is a complete benefit of digital bullet journaling, right? Like you can use the stickers as many times as you want in a digital sticker. But I don't need the same layout every single day of a year. And so digital bullet journaling gives me a way to create different layouts. And so I wanted to show you kind of how I'm getting started. So if you have followed any bullet journaling, you know, it kind of starts with an index and then a future log, and you have collections. And so I've kind of created a digital bullet journal template that's in my Etsy store. And it starts with this kind of block page. So it's just a blank page. I've decorated it a little bit here, but this is kind of the index. Now, I follow a 12-week year. Great book, read it multiple times, definitely recommend it. And so by planning in just quarters, which if you look at the top here, you can see I've named this notebook Q1. By planning in quarters, right? Like you're like, oh, your goals are not so far away and not so, like you don't really even start. If you plan a goal for the whole year, you don't even start working on that until like October. And you're like, ah, crap, I really got to get to work on that. So, but if you're using a 12-week year and each week is a month, in a standard year, then you are, there's a little more urgency to it, and you're not going to make as big plans, right? Like you're not going to try to tackle everything in this first quarter. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So what I've done is that you can see that these words are all underlined, and in GoodNotes, you can link pages. So let's go to read only here. So in read only mode, the links work. So you can see that I have linked it to my January calendar. And then I've also, it's not going to work today. There we go. I've also linked it back to the index page from the January calendar. And I can show you how to do that. But so I've got a basic kind of outline. So I can use this over and over. In Q2 journal, I will, do April, May, June. So that's how I will set this up. And this is totally reusable for me. And then I have I have a yearly planner though, like a future log, right? So this is my future log for the whole entire year, but I've only got the 4 boxes so that I'm only planning by quarter. So these are the sticker kits, the digital sticker kits, and the things that I have in my Etsy store. I could also reuse this. Let's say I have 3 goals, right? Like this would be my Etsy store goal, and then I use this same page, which is just 4 blocks. I can add another page behind it if I want to have a health goal, right? Let's say I have 3 goals. I have a business goal, a health goal, and then my kids are going to college in the fall, so I've got to figure out how to get scholarships. So that's my scholarship goal, right? So I could have 3 of these pages where in a physical journal, I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to get 3 pages to plan the whole entire year. But in a digital journal, I can just, go up here. I copy the page, copy page. I got to get out of read only here. And I paste the page in. There we go. And then I can clear the page. And I've got it all over again. And I can, right at the top, this is my Etsy store. These are my health goals, and then do it again for my 3rd goal. You don't really want to do too many goals in a month or in a quarter. So then I've got, my individual goal, like 3 blocks here. So not the full year view, but just the quarterly view. And so I've put the months down this side here. Aren't these cute? These are supposed to be me. That's what these are. Me and ChatGPT had a little fun and made some images that are supposed to be made. Then I've got a collections. And so this page is plain with just boxes. And again, if I have pages that I put in that I want to be able to click to quickly, then I put them on this collections page. And right now I've just got like books that I've read, right? So here's, I have a goal. One of my goals last year was to read, sorry, I had to itch my ear. Was to read 100 books, and I made it to 87, which is pretty darn good. I'm listening to two. I was listening to this one on Audible. I listen to books, and I listen to them at 1.5 to 2, which is how I get that many done. I finished all of these. I went back to this one, but I also use Libby, and Libby gives you you've got 14 days to finish this, or you've got 7 days to finish an 18-hour book. So sometimes if I have a book on Audible and I get one on Libby, I have to drop the Audible book and go back. So this is the book club book, which I totally forgot. I don't know why I always forget in January that I'm in a book club and that I've been in for 10 years. So the book club book this month is Briar Club, and I'm trying to get through that by Sunday. So yeah, so you can just add collections pages, and then you can use the drop down here to go back to the page that you were on. I haven't put a link back on that page yet. So if I want to do, like my fitness journals or my whatever journals or whatever pages that I'm tracking, then I could put those here and link to them. Year in Pixels comes in my digital bullet journal templates also. If you want to track a goal, let's say I'm tracking sleep. Did I get 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours? And then I track with, those are color coded, and I track those on here. And then, I could have another goal where, again, you're not going to get this in a physical planner. You can just add in the pages. If I wanted to track, steps, did I get 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, track my steps there. 100 things, for me, this might be books, or 100 times going to yoga, whatever I want to track. 100 things page, my books to read page, and then I've got just a blank calendar page. I have this one filled out. This is my But First Coffee, which is actually my I turned it into my January, so it has all the months actually in it, and then the dots and stuff that you can, and some pictures so that you can set up your calendar. So I set up my calendar page, and I also have a create your own wheel of life. So this I have also in my digital bullet journal have put this behind the month page in each section here so that I can evaluate how I'm doing in each of these sections. So balance isn't about doing everything at once, right? Like I can't physically do everything at once. So this money and career, in Q4, I busted my butt. I had a physical business where I made whimsical wood earrings and went to craft shows and did everything. But now it's January and I'm not standing outside in 25-degree weather. So that's kind of taken a back seat. But I've got kids going to college. We're thinking about moving. So my home and family needs to really take more focus this time, this month here. So just evaluating where you are and thinking about what your focuses are. I've got a vision board section, right? The boys going to college, moving, focusing on my Etsy shop, and playing with AI again. Isn't that cute? So here is one of the templates. This is a weekly template that I have. And what I kind of base this off of how I used my Hobonichi Weekly. So these were kind of the boxes that I would create in my Hobonichi Weekly. Where I would make a line at the bottom and do a to-do list, which usually had, my priorities, the top 3 things I wanted to do. I've got gratitude at the top. You could put your dinner at the top, though. You could put your to-do list at the top. Actually, I think you could make these rectangles yourself also, but my template has to do written there too. So you can't quite move that. But you can, the way I'm doing it and the way I really like to use the weekly is to show what I've actually done. Not, I've got some plans here, right? These are definitely plans. Book club has already gotten canceled. My son decided he didn't want to go to fencing practice last night. So I do have some things that I've already put in, but I also, I worked on this. I did do a walk. I did some planner stuff. This is what we had for dinner. This is what I'm planning to have for dinner. I've done some of that too. I've got a massage tomorrow. So I do have some things in here, but I can also just click them and move them and delete them and reuse it. So here's February with the blank. I've already got it set up with, a little link at the top there to get back. And I've kind of already set up each month here so that I'm ready to go. But also, you could just use the shapes tool if you wanted to do a daily. I do have dailies. I just don't need the dailies right now. So let's see here. Current planners, templates, digital blur. There we go. So here is my digital bullet journal templates that's on in my Etsy shop. And these are all the templates that it comes with. I've got a mind map, 100 things. Here's another, one of my favorites. So there's two of these because one is actually a PNG and one is a, I don't know why it won't spin. Oh, because it's a picture. It's a PNG. This is a PNG. It's not in the PDF version. So I give you a PDF version and a PNG version. So if you wanted to put this on top of a colored page or, a pretty decoration. So I give you one of these that has white blocks here so that if you want to put it on top of a colored page, you can, or this one is just clear if you wanted to do that too. But this is kind of a Hobonichi Weeks. This is how I used my Hobonichi Weeks. So this is what I wanted to put in here. Let's see here. Let's go back. I totally got out of it, didn't I? There we go. I've got this one here that is, it's a super cute layout. Actually, you know what, Sarah? It might be easier to see if you do go to the PDF version because then you can go through. Okay, so this one, the PNGs come with clear boxes and white boxes also. But this is a cute weekly layout. Here's another weekly layout. I was playing with it. I should clear that page, actually. Clear page. I was just playing with this layout just to see how I could use it. And then here's the one that I showed you that I was using this week. It's a 2-page. And then this is my daily. So I usually do gratitude here and a to-do list in one of these 2 boxes. And then I will journal in the bottom. So this is how I used my daily pages in my Hobonichi, and so I have just recreated how I did it. I always made a box. I always made boxes and separated it. One of my favorite things to do also, which I have in another journal, I've got all of these 2026 January. The cover there. Okay, so here it is. Yesterday I made this layout just to show you can put dots in here. I did make this in Canva, which for me is a little bit easier. You can make them, the squares or rectangles, colored, darker colored, decorate them. I did one that I did instead of, this was a whole weekend one. I had things I needed to get done on the weekend. I had a to-do list and gratitude. I cut this out of another planner, the page that I had, and just put it on here because I wanted to show that I could do times. Isn't that cute? Didn't that turn out cute? So these are just from Creative Fabrica. You can use sticky notes also if you have. So this is what I'm saying. I don't need the exact same thing every day. I do need a weekly overview every week. But daily, I don't necessarily need, unless I'm journaling, which I do like to journal in these, which some of the pre-made pages that I have, I really like to use as journals. But here's how I used some of the boxes, right? I've got a gratitude, I've got a to-do list, I've got a journal, I've got a funny meme. Sometimes, though, I like to write sideways also just to make it a little bit visually different. I did this in my Hobonichi. I did this every time I had a sideways box. So I don't know, I just like it. I think it's cute. So here's some different layouts that I have played around with this month. And so I will incorporate those into my my Q1 also here. But I just wanted to show you, like, a digital bullet journal is way easier to do on an iPad in GoodNotes than, or whatever tablet you have, and whatever Notability, Colanote, I don't know. I don't even know them all, but I just am using GoodNotes. But whatever you want to do is way easier to do here. And you can change it around. You can change the colors. You can, add the digital stickers. You can link to them and click back and forth. You can see all the pages at once if you want. And I could also, see how I've done, I've bookmarked the months. And so if I were to use a whole entire planner for the whole of 2026, I could bookmark each of the months and then on this view just show the bookmark so that I could quickly jump to that month. And then maybe, I take that once January is done, I just do February or whatever works for you and your brain. But me and my brain need a different planner page almost every single day, basically. I wanted to also show you, I do have a free printable. This is a free printable on my Linktree, which is in my bio. You can get a January page. So using the month pages, I also use it, for planning. Okay, what do I have coming up? And then I use it for a picture a day. Like, this is a memory keeping. I haven't been doing so well. I'm kind of caught up. Gratitude, if I want to write the gratitude on here, if I wanted to do how I'm feeling on here, you can use the monthly page also for lots of different things, where in a physical planner, you can only, again, use it for one thing, which is why I had multiple physical planners, right? Because I wanted to use a doodle a day, and I wanted to do a photo a day. I wanted to do all these different things. But my digital planner, I can just copy and paste that page and redo it. So I hope that helps you to understand how I'm using a digital bullet journal. I will do some more playing with me's, but I wanted to give you the big kind of overview picture. I've got, monthly notebooks and I've got quarterly notebooks because I'm still trying to figure out what works best for me. Switch to full digital, right? I was kind of half and half last year, which is a hybrid, which is fine. Don't let anybody tell you. There are days you could also print this out. These are totally printable. You just export it and you print it. There are days I need a physical piece of paper. So I would print this out and have a physical piece of paper because I do better if I'm writing things rather than my memory works better. But you don't worry if your system doesn't look like everybody else's. What I'm trying to show you is my system so that you can pick and choose what works for you. Okay, let me know if you have questions. Let me know what you want to see. Basic overview of digital journaling, digital bullet journaling, and then we can get into some more into the weeds on all of this. Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please give me a follow. I'd like to build this channel and help y'all. I do have a Facebook group also called Planner Junkies. Something about calm to chaos. I don't know. I don't know. Once again, I'm just trying to share what's working for me so that I can help people because that's kind of my goal in life. All right. Planner Junkie, have a great day.